Then suddenly, a voice echoed in his mind. His father's voice. "Why can't you close the gate?" He sighed softly. "Daddy, even here." He walked back quietly and closed the gate properly. The security guards looked surprised but said nothing. He continued walking. Then he heard it. Drip. 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 A tap beside the walkway was running freely, water spilling across the ground. Many applicants passed it without care. Again, that familiar voice filled his mind. Who is wasting water? He shook his head and smiled. He walked over and turned the tap off tightly. Daddy will never forgive this kind of waste, he murmured. A few steps later he reached the main entrance. The welcome mat was twisted to one side. People kept stepping over it awkwardly. Again the voice came. Calm. Firm. Arrange things properly. He bent down and placed the mat neatly in front of the door. A cleaner nearby watched him quietly with curious eyes. The interview. The waiting room was full. Young men and women with perfect suits and impressive CVs sat nervously. When his name was called, he entered the interview room. 3 executives sat across the table. The chairman leaned forward. "We've been watching you since you entered the compound." The young man froze. "You have?" Another interviewer smiled. "Yes." "You closed the gate. You turned off the running tap. And you arranged the entrance mat." The young man suddenly felt embarrassed. "I'm sorry, sir. It's just a habit from home." The chairman folded his hands. "No." He shook his head slowly. "That is not a habit. That is character." The room became quiet. He continued speaking. "Many qualified people walked past those things today. But you stopped. Not because anyone told you. Because it was the right thing to do." The chairman smiled warmly. "We can teach people skills. But character." He paused. "Character is taught at home." The young man felt his chest tighten. For a moment he remembered the small house. The constant corrections. The voice that never stopped teaching. The chairman stretched out his hand. "Congratulations. You got the job." Later that evening, the young man sat alone outside the company building. He took out his phone and called home. His father answered. "Hello." For a moment the young man couldn't speak. Then he said quietly, "Daddy, thank you." His father laughed softly. "For what?" The young man looked up at the sky. "For never getting tired of correcting us." On the other end of the line, the old man was silent. Then he simply said, "That is what fathers are for." The young man smiled. Because in that moment he realized something powerful. His father never gave him money. He never gave him connections. He never gave him luxury. But he gave him something far greater. A voice of discipline and integrity that would guide him for the rest of his life. And sometimes, the greatest inheritance a parent can give is the training that stays in your mind forever. If you find this story interesting, like, share and comment.